you're in a relationship, or maybe you're single, and your financial situation has changed for the worse. That's right. You're not making as much money as you need to uphold the lifestyle in which you're living. And you are scared. You're afraid of what's going to happen next. What do you have to give up? Right? What goes first? And there's a message that speaks about this, about those who receive the word of God, but they fell among thorns, and the thorns choked the word, the word became unfruitful, right? And we learn that the thorns are interpreted as the riches and the pleasures of life. So although they may have been rooted, life happened, right? And instead of us applying the word of God in order to get through life, we felt defeated by life, and we put the word aside. And we said, well, what do we have to do next? What do we have to do to get ourselves out of this? And I'm here to tell you that if you accepted Christ within your life, that's just it. You accepted him in your life. He is there to help you, not to hurt you. So hold on to his unchanging hands. Now, this message is not speaking about Satan and his devices, or a devil, or some kind of demon, or some evil lurking in darkness, waiting to jump out and hurt you. This is simply how you interpret life. When problems hit, do you run away from God? Do you run away from the message that God has given you? Do you run away from the mission in which he's given you in order to find some sort of solution? And we don't want to be caught running away from God. It's impossible. He's everywhere at all times. But within our minds, we can isolate ourselves from his goodness and say we no longer want anything to do with him. And for a lot of people, this sounds strange, but it happens and is happening every moment of the day. Another portion of this word that I want you guys to understand is that they don't bring fruit to perfection. A lot of people don't believe in perfection. And you know what? There's a reason why. Because we start out so strong, and we really want to change the environment we're living in, the people we're hanging around, what we're entertaining. And we're really hitting all those points, and we're really dedicated to the message of God. But slowly we drift away from that as time progresses, and we learn that these problems are always around us. How can we run away from them? Maybe it's up to me to just deal with the problems, right? And deal with these people, but that's not entirely true, right? The race is not for the swift, but for those who can endure to the end. If you are struggling with temptations and you believe that the only option you have is to go back and do those temptations, then that has nothing to do with God. That's what we call leaning to your own understanding. And when you lean to your own understanding, you're no longer on the foundations of Christ. It's simple as that. So you see how it doesn't matter what stage you're in. Like if you've received the word and it's been 5 years, or the first month, or 20 years, we could all fall in this category. So we have to be very careful. We may be very strong in the beginning, the first 5 years, the first 7 and 20 years of our walk with Christ. But as we get older, as life seems to get more difficult, as people within our lives begin to disappear from our lives, they're dying, they're in sicknesses, they're in pains, and we don't have an answer for them. our faith could dwindle and it could shatter and it could be gone just like that. So although we may have been walking up that mountain and we were closer to perfection, we could turn around and just start rolling down the same mountain that we worked so hard to get up. And we always like to interpret the word as this. If, you're opening doors in your life and moving forward, as you're opening one door, you're closing another. Satan is opening those doors. The devil is opening those doors. Those enemies within your life are opening those doors and waiting for you to stop. They're very persistent. For the devil is seeking who he can devour. Don't give him an opportunity to devour your blessing. Don't start to mingle with people that do not believe in the faith. It is going to destroy you. You think that you're strong enough because you've been in the faith for a few years? Trust me, you're never ready. Jesus himself had no dealings with Satan, although he tempted him over and over and over again. Now, that's the Son of God, and he wants no dealings with Satan. How much more the children that are in darkness, the people who do not want anything to do with God? Don't lean to your own understanding. God will guide you to the people that he wants you to speak to. But if you're not led, then don't go. And another thing is, don't worry about your situation. It is only a situation. We read stories. We know that every hero, superhero has his problems or her problems, but they always get through it in the end, right? You have to realize that you're that superhero and you have God abiding within you. So you have the power to withstand any problem that you're going to be going through. All you have to do is believe not only in yourself, but also in God, and you will get through it, and you wouldn't be choked by the thorns of this life. God bless.